organization that have one of the project as Igbo Fest, and 3 individuals who's running the show. And on my left, there's a Mike Ononke.
Yeah, Anonike.
Anonike,
Yes.
the chairperson, and you're also an engineer by profession.
Yes.
And we also have Austin Ihekwe.
Yes.
Okay, he's an elder statesman, an engineer. And we also have Dr. Jen Nwa Udo.
Yes.
She's a vice president of UMUNNE. So Igbo Fest is going to be happening next week on August 7 and 8.
That's correct.
Yeah, and if you don't mind telling me what Igbo Fest is all about. I know it existed for the last many years, but how did you start it? Who started it? And all that.
Yes, thank you, Petros. Igbo Fest is a project within UMUNNE Cultural Association. And UMUNNE Cultural Association is an association, a non-profit association formed in 1985 in Minnesota. It's an association that brings all the Igbo-speaking people together in Minnesota. And this association are the one that presents Igbo Fest to the Minnesotans who would have paid dearly to go to Nigeria, where the Igbo people are residing. Many of them are residing over there, but UMUNNE bring them here, bring the Igbo Fest here. And Igbo Fest is a program that and a project that UMUNNE formed to showcase our culture and our heritage. And if I may, I would like to say a little bit word about the UMUNNE Cultural Association, which is the association that brings Igbo Fest. And they are formed in that 1985, and since then we have been trying to find a way to showcase our culture to the people where we live. And we found out that the best way to showcase our culture is through our heritage and the way of doing things. So that formed the Igbo Fest. Igbo Fest born in 1994. We did the first one in 1994 at the University of Minnesota. We have some of the people that helped to plan it in the audience here. They will come up later on and talk about it, and I myself included. And we will talk about how the first one started. But since then, we have been doing it every year. And this year, being the 2015, I was asked to be the chairman for this Igbo Fest. Now, the Igbo Fest itself is a place where we showcase many different kind of cultural theatrical performances. Mm-hmm. We showcase fashion show, ethnic food, dances, just like Pyongyang that people go to, yep. Here in the United States. So that is in a nutshell what Igbo Fest is all about.
Okay.
We'll talk about more as we go along.
As we go along. Perfect. And you also, the UMUNNE is a non-profit organization?
Yes.
Registered in Minnesota?
Registered non-profit organization, registered in Minnesota under 501c.
Okay, perfect. And the show is going to be next week on August 7 and 8.
Yes.
And one of the places is Higher Ground Academy, which is on the 7th of August.
Yes.
And the other one will be on North Hennepin Community College.
Yes.
And do you mind saying a little about the time you start? And,
yes. Yes, the Igbo Fest celebration this year is a little different. It's going to be a 2-day event. It starts August 7th. And August 7th, we are going to have a gala night where our folks that come from all over the world, they will come together, and then we socialize, talk about, mingle with ourselves. And then that will be happening at Higher Ground Academy. The address is 1381 Marshall Avenue in St. Paul, Minnesota. The zip code is 55104. You can tweet it to your friend, put it in Facebook, and everywhere you can put it. And then it will be big. We have one of the best DJ that will be playing music all different kind of music. So come down there, be ready to have fun.
And
It starts.
there's also a price for it, right?
It starts at 9, and then we're gonna end at 2 p.m. 2 a.m. Sorry to say 2 a.m. And we are asking people to give a donation of $10 to go in. There'll be some food, ethnic food there, and few drinks. If you show up on the door, we will ask you to donate $15 to help us with the planning and everything about the event. Now, the day event is going to be at the next day. It starts at 12 noon and go till 7 p.m. It's going to be at North Hennepin Community College in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. And the address is at
7411
85th Avenue.
Okay.
Yeah, in
Brooklyn Park.
Yes.
Okay. Do you mind? You want to add a little bit to it? What kind of activity that you'll be engaged in that day?
Yeah, before we get into that, Igbo Fest was the brainchild of one of our past presidents, Francis UMUNNE. And coincidentally, a member of this focus group was the first Igbo Fest chair, Dr. Isaac Obi.
Mm-hmm.
And we have, since '94, have tried to improve on what we started. And up to this point, I think we're doing a very good job.
Okay.
Based on the feedback we get from people. And what was it again I was supposed to talk about?
The rich heritage of Igbo Fest, the history in general.
One thing also made UMUNNE exist is, if you look at somebody like me, when I came to this country, and that's when they had pay phones. If you want to speak your language, you got to pick up the phone and call somebody about 200-300 miles away, and you pay for it. And now, so everything is kind of we're together.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get all these people, finally got a lot of us around, so we have to get together. And it's one thing about our culture, it's like when I was growing up, no matter where we were in the country of Nigeria, the Igbos usually have an organization and they take care of one another. And this is one of the things that we do here in the Twin Cities.
It's an extension of
Right.
what's in Nigeria. Okay.
And so UMUNNE Cultural Association is still evolving. And we're not there yet, because we have some high dreams.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And fortunately for us, we have the younger members of the community who are also joining and trying to make our dreams come true. And as long as we keep supporting them and encouraging them, I think association is going to last.
Move forward.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Dr. Jen, do you want to add a little bit to it?
Yes. Igbo Fest, I think, is a bridge that put together the two cultures. As he rightly pointed out, the elderly ones are growing older, and we have children who are coming up. Those of us who were born there and the children who were born here. So we are kind of like the bridge between the two cultures. And then not only that, on the micro level of the society, diversity is the turn of the year or turn of the century. We are trying to get into that mode because Minnesota especially is getting so diversified, such that diversity in everything, in culture, language, dance, drink, food, everything we do. So Igbo Fest is one of the branches that kind of like put this out there, the food, the drink, the children, bringing our culture, and most importantly, our elders are getting worried that this culture is dying. So there is something that we have to do to put it up. So that's why Igbo Fest is top of the game now.
In fact, if I may add to what you said, Igbo Fest probably the only largest ethnic festival in Minnesota, and
That's correct.
people can testify for it.
Yeah.
Would you say that?
Yes, that's very correct.
Yeah.
Igbo Fest has been seen all over the world, all over the globe. We have get responses from all the way in Netherlands, all the way in sub-Saharan Africa, even Finland. We have got some responses as to what we do. They encourage us to the tone that some other associations or Igbo people that have their cultural association or somewhere else have already started to do Igbo Fest. So if you search in Igbo in internet and put in Igbo Fest, you see Igbo Fest. The only one, or the one that started it, is the one in Minnesota here.
Oh, okay.
And you can see something like TM at the end of it. That means trademark.
Okay.
So UMUNNE Cultural Association of Minnesota is the only association that owns the Igbo Fest. And that's why you have the trademark in there. They are the only one that are allowed to affix that TM at the end of Igbo Fest.
Okay, yeah, you have a history of many years
Yes.
in doing so. Another thing is, even the governor is planning to attend this year's festival. Can you say a little bit about that?
Yes, that's correct. We are thrilled. We are excited that our governor, Governor Mark Dayton, governor of Minnesota, is coming to this Igbo Fest on August 8th. So we are hoping that everyone will be there to welcome our governor. It's going to be a whole full day of family fun. I guarantee you that. Igbo Fest is going to be great this year.
Okay. And Dr. Jen, if you can tell us a little about the cultural activities, what are you planning to have for that day?
We have different elegant things to be happening. We have glamorous women, the Igbo Women League, that will come out with their performances. We have our children, we have our young adults, we have our men, the folk, the masquerade. Especially we have our ethnic food section, whereby people will eat and taste the food that costs so much, but they will get it at such a little price on that day.
Okay.
We have so many things for different people, but there is no alcohol. Sorry.
On the day of Igbo Fest, but on the eve, you know, if you are of the age, we can serve you to the extent that you're not gonna be tipsy.
Oh, tipsy, okay.
Right.
But we're going to have a sample, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But that shouldn't be the drawing point, though.
Oh, yes. And I see that you guys are going to have raffle tickets and some other prizes for that day, including recognitions.
Yes, we do. We do have a raffle ticket. One of the coordinators is here in the audience. He will be joining us in this stage at a later time, and they will expand on it. But as the chairman, I will give you a synopsis of what you see as far as raffle is concerned and the other question that you asked about. We are going to have a raffle, and we have first, second, and third prizes and fourth prizes. And the first prize will be a 54-inch flat screen TV, HD TV. And the second one will be second prize will be a smartphone, and the third prize will be a 10-inch tablet. And then we're also going to console some people that played the raffle but maybe didn't have time to win or didn't have luck to win. We're going to console them with a $10 consolation prize. The raffle ticket itself is $2, so you are actually gaining $8. So if you haven't got your ticket, you call in. The number to call is 651-644-2010. 651-644-2010. That is the hotline for Igbo Fest. You can also send your email to igbofest@gmail.com. That's spelled IGBOFEST, one word, @gmail.com. When the coordinators come in, they might give you some other numbers that you can call to get your ticket. Another thing you asked about is the scholarship. UMUNNE Cultural Association, as a non-profit 501c, do give scholarship to children going into high school. So that day, those who met the requirements will be given scholarship. We do that every year.
Graduated from high school.
For example, from high school going to college, we'll be getting the scholarship. And this scholarship, the money we give them are money that we generate within the association. So that's why we're asking our viewers, and we're asking you, anyone that can help, to help us. And all the money you give to this association is tax deductible under the charter 501c, and we use it judiciously.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned it. We're going to display all the contact information,
Yes.
the email, and the website as well.
Correct.
On our screen. But this is my question, my curiosity.
Yes.
Igbo Fest is so well known in the Twin Cities. How inclusive are you in letting the other Africans or beyond Africans, the Americans, to get involved in the project? One of you.
Yes, we I'm going to talk about it, and then I will let the elder and the vice president talk about it a little bit more. We are very inclusive. The Igbos are in nature very inclusive people. They are inclusive. We have, even in this Igbo Fest that's coming up now, we have programs, we have performances from all other African culture. We have performances from Sierra Leone.
Okay.
We have performances from other culture, Indian food, other many. Even though you call it Igbo Fest, we are showing our culture. At the same time, we are allowing our people to show their culture. We want to get to know them, people in here, then we want to get to know us. So it's a symbiotic relationship that we want to do. Very healthy symbiotic relationship. So we are inclusive. When we are planning this, we included everyone. We included anybody, whatever you are. It's free. It's a free event on the 8th of August. So everyone is invited, and we also publicize it to anybody. We go door knocking. We put it in the internet. We put it in everywhere we can put it, so that everyone that is around that be able to make it will be able to come. So we are very inclusive. It's not only for the Igbos or Africans. It's very colorful.
Colorful.
Do
you want to add to
Yes.
Dr.
Yeah,
Jen?
yes. Inclusion is one of the criteria that helps us to, that drives Igbo Fest. We have race, gender, religion, inclusion in everything we do. Especially on the day of the event, it's focused on a strategic point, whereby even if you don't have a car, there's a bus route. People can take the bus. Language and the people that have handicap is handicap accessible, whereby people can get in. Then those who don't understand the language, we have during the publicity arrangement, we have people who go to other people, neighbors who don't understand the language or wherever, to knock at their door to tell them what is happening. And also we use the format, the American ADM method, to provide us. Even during that day in our event, although it's a cultural event, there will be a stamp boat whereby the people will use it for emergency, whatever that happens. If there is any incident, the Red Cross or wherever they are there, the nurses of Minnesota have their own special boats whereby they will use to help out if there is any type of emergency that day.
Okay, this is well-rounded
Yeah.
as a festival. Actually, as a festivals, need to learn from your organization, I would say. And I know.
Yeah, I was just going to say another part of inclusive situations that we have is we've managed to get groups from other states and also in Canada who would always come down that day and help us celebrate.
Okay.
That's basically what we do that day. And so we have established a relationship with a group in Kansas City. I think we've got 2 groups now in Canada, and we expect to expand that so that, especially to states around us, makes it a lot easier for them to travel, and then we can reciprocate when they have theirs.
Come to Minnesota. Okay. I know besides the state official, American state official, there's some Nigerian officials will be attending the festival. If you wanted to talk about them a little bit.
Yes, you know, the Igbo Fest around this time is usually in Nigeria, is usually the time that Igbos celebrate UMUNNE festival. So the UMUNNE festival is a time that people come in and then celebrate what God have given them with everyone. Because we believe if God give you something, you're going to get some, share with your foes. So that some other ones, next time you can have more and more. So a lot of them will be taking some time from Nigeria and where they reside, those residing in a diaspora, to come over here to celebrate with us with this Igbo Fest. It's a celebration that you want, you know, whatever you have, you come in. When you come there that day, you see some people kind of spraying dollar. It's not that they don't, you know, they are so buoyant, but it's just part of the culture. They have to do that. They have to give. So if you are an engineer or if you are a doctor, you're not gonna just come and bring your stethoscope and start giving to people. You can change your dollar, come over there and spray to people. That's part of that giving I'm talking about. So you give that dollar, you spray it apart. So people will be coming in. We are expecting many people, the mayors, to come that day. We're expecting excellencies, his and her excellencies to come in, and we're expecting some performers. We have some performers coming in from within and from outside the state, United States, here to come that day. So there are many of them that are confirmed to be there that day.
Okay, so when you talk about performance, are you including dance shows, theater, fashion, or
Yes,
or all of them?
Yeah, when we talk about performances, we are talking about many different things. We're going to talk about masquerade, different kind of dancing. Like I said earlier before, the way we do things, you're going to see that. We're going to talk about storytelling. You're going to talk about some other acrobatic dances. You're going to talk about so many things. It's all lined up in our program that later on during the show, there are some people in the audience here that will be performing. They're not going to be performing the show today, but they will be performers. So they will come up to you and tell you more about other things they will do.
Okay.
But and it's both the both age group. You see the older people, you see the young people. So it's spread apart. It's not only one age group.
Okay. Just to pick one from the performers, Prince and Princess.
Okay.
If you can explain it to us.
Yeah, the Prince and Princess is one of the prince is actually here.
Oh, okay.
So the prince will come up and talk about it. Okay. The princess is not here yet, but the prince is here. He's going to talk about it. It's a dance that Igbo people do. Like, it's maybe you can call it kind of rite of passage. When a man grew up, sometimes want to get married, or so, they will be dancing, and then they say boy see girl, and sometimes one thing later another, then they'll perform, So it's a very good way of showing how a young male go and do some performances in a traditional Igbo culture. So you will see that there, and then when he comes up here, he will gonna talk about it more.
Okay, okay. You see, he's talking from the Prince area. If I may ask
Right.
you, from the princess.
Yeah, the princess side is actually, it's assumed that a young lady, well, beautifully made, honors herself, maintains her integrity, maintains her standard, is worthy of any gain. So this lady preserves herself. When the prince comes to woo the girl, then the girl puts in styles. Even though the girl will say yes, but she wouldn't just say yes right away.
She has to go through. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
Well, that's how it goes. So.
Perfect. And I will, one more comment from you,
Elder?
the elder statement.
It's one of those things that the prince and the princess are dancing, but the target is out there
Okay, somebody else. Okay.
because they are performing. And there are people there saying, I think I like her, or I think I like him. And they just kind of wait. You go home and tell your parents, hey, I saw that young lady and I think we should go,
And pay dowry.
you know. So the parents have to maybe take the tour first.
Yeah.
But that's basically, it's like an exhibition.
Okay, okay. I can see that. So pretty much all the 9 or 10 acts that you identified here reflect the culture of Igbo,
Yeah.
one way or the other.
Yeah.
Correct.
And after the break, we're going to invite the young people, and we'll see how they're going to receive the elderly culture and hear their interpretation of that culture. Again, I'd like to thank Mike Anoneke, Austin Ihekwe, and Dr. Jen Nwa-Udo for being part of this, and I'm sure I'll be there. I'll join you at the festival.
Yes.
Thank you. Oh, you wanted to say some more?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would also like to after the next group comes
Yes.
in, then we actually gonna be here, but
Okay.
we have elders. Our structure. I don't know if I tell you the way we structured. We have executive members,
Oh,
and then
okay.
we also have the elders. So some of those elders are here in the audience. They will come here later on after the young ones.
Okay.
Because we believe that we learn a lot from our elders.
Very true.
We believe that we pass tradition through our elders. That's why we are staying here doing all this, and so we can pass our culture to our younger ones. So we will meet with the younger ones, and then we come back with our
Wonderful.
elders, and then to
Okay.
wrap it up.
Oh, thank you.
And thank you.
Okay. Yeah. In fact, we are thinking about 3 sessions.
Yes.
So you did the introduction very well, and thank you.
Thank you.
Then we'll come back with the youth,
Yes.
and they'll tell us their perspective of culture and their rebuttal, I would say. Thank you. In a brief moment, we'll come back and continue with the other guest. Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.